you for being here live though. You guys, I appreciate that. Because we made some very big decisions and changes to this right now. Because as you can probably tell, life is busy and crazy and things are approaching. And for me, the last 6 months, like what I haven't shared a lot out loud is the last 6 months has been really, really busy doing a whole huge website redo, like overhaul, like completely different platform. I had 2 people that I'd hired helping me with that. I rewrote all of my teacher trainings. I've been re-recording all of them. Like it has been like balls to the wall for the last, like, especially the last 3 months. And I just launched it on Thursday last week, but I haven't even announced it yet. You guys can all go in and I would actually love to get your feedback on that. Go to mandytrapp.com now. Well, maybe not in a second, but if you want to, go for it. And you can see what it looks like now. But I've just been working on this huge marketing strategy, but we had Kyan's graduation Thursday and Friday, and then we're in Victoria with John's parents with a very important family trip here and things going on. And so that's why I haven't had like a big, huge announcement of that, but that's coming over the course of the next week. And so it's required a lot of attention and energy. And so how that really relates to this too, is that Jackie and I had a meeting maybe 2 weeks ago, just kind of about where we're at with this and revisiting our intention for it and realistically what's doable for all of us right now. And at the end of the day, it comes down to us really still wanting to do well, I guess it's threefold. One, it's what can we do to come together as a community, like the greater practice community, and people who aren't in the practice, but they're kind of on the fringe of our community and they are looking for ways to be a part of something that is meaningful and purposeful. And one of the things that we know is that when people really slip into these states of anxiety and depression, there's a lot of it has to do with not feeling a sense of purpose, right? Not feeling any meaning in their life and not feeling connected to somebody or to something. And so I really think that this is a huge opportunity for us to, like, how do we bring people together, right? So that they can feel that, okay, good, Jackie and Pam are here. So that's one of the primary drivers of this. The second would be, okay, well then what are we going to put our attention and energy into that creates meaning and has one common and shared goal? And for me, I chose this year for it to be around Little Warriors and what it is that they're growing, because the third part of it was this huge knock that I kept getting from Cody, like, hey, remember when you said that you were going to help me with this thing? And, we have all the dream catchers and we never did anything with that. And, he really wanted to do these things, with Glory and with the Be Brave Ranch. And it just, life can take everything over and you wait for these gaps or these openings to do these things. And if you actually don't make it happen, it doesn't ever really happen. And so that is why, I thought, let's do it this way. Now, again, him saying, oh, let's do this big walk and this run, and me like kind of hearing and seeing it in that way, I keep feeling like logistically, that is fucking huge. And it's a lot, I think, right now for all of us to kind of bite off and to chew. And so really understanding, I don't want to say we can't do it, but there's a lot of like, okay, well, this is really difficult. So instead of looking at the things that we can't do or that are hard to do, what can we do that help to support a lot of these things? It feels a lot more simple. But again, the thing that Jackie and I talked about is that I kept feeling that I really, really wanted it to be as in alignment as possible with what we're all about in the practice. And what we are all about is meditation. It's mindful living. It's creating practices that really help us to lead much better lives. It's not something you do by yourself, but it's leading much better lives. And so with that being said, what we kind of came back to, it's an idea I had a really long time ago, but I guess what I kind of came back to is that we then need to have something that's not just a walk or not just a run or whatever it is, but it actually has to have those components of meditation and mindfulness in it, right? Because otherwise we're trying to create this bridge from a walk run into somehow what we're doing in the practice through communication versus actually letting people have the lived experience. And so, drum roll, the thing that I came to, maybe some of you participated in this in the past, but the big, beautiful yoga festival known as Wanderlust, they did these mini events called, I think they called it the Wanderlust 108 or something like that. Ultimately, what it was is it's a mindfulness triathlon. And it was like a one-day event that brought people together for a walk, yoga, and a meditation. And so I thought, what would that look like and not how do we do this in all of these other places and get Strava and everything that poor Tanya, we've like tasked to her to like figure out these routes. And there's a lot of online social coordinating to get all of that done. But we're like, what if for a year one, we just actually did this all in one place? There is the opportunity for us to live stream. So if people do want to participate from somewhere else and be a part of it, right? I still don't want to leave people out because it's that, that intention of connectivity. But what if we just centralize it all in year one would be in Edmonton, and we do a walk. We do a shorter, beautiful, fun yoga practice, and then we do a meditation, which is that last piece of grounding it in and really bringing people back into their heart so that they can understand the bigger meaning and purpose, like we've talked about all along, not just for little warriors and that, but for themselves, right? For themselves. And so, what do you think? Luisha, you can unmute if you want. I don't do sign language, my love.
Let's just together.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So initial thoughts, how are you guys feeling about that?
I feel the load's been lifted a little bit for me, but and I feel I want to participate, but this will help me participate in my own way. I'll be there in Edmonton. You just let me know.
Okay, I love that. Thanks, Luisha. Kristen, you unmuted. What do you think?
I love it. I was thinking, like, I think I was feeling sort of a little bit of the heaviness, like Luisha, like, how is this gonna, like June 15th, we were gonna launch it, but that I hadn't seen anything coming out. And I had a feeling there was a change coming. Yeah. Just before the meeting, I went, oh, something's coming.
Mandy's going to do what Mandy does. She's going to change it. Right.
But I love it. That makes sense. It seems more in alignment with the practice. Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you. Who's next? Susan. Oh, Jackie. Jackie, your hand is up. What? I can't hear you. You might have to turn the volume up or something, or because it says you're unmuted, but.
Is she connected to a speaker somewhere? Maybe.
I don't know. You might have to leave and come back in. Okay. I'll leave. Okay. I know that sign language. I'll leave and I'll come back in. Okay. Tanya, what do you think?
Well, even before you said it, I was like, please don't cancel. Just let's do mindful walk or walking meditation. So completely on board. I'm all about global and expansion, and it does make sense. Like, I know that, you had that, like, I know what you felt in December and the last 6 months, what you've done. So maybe, if let's do it smaller and then grow organically and naturally and like with ease and, flowy versus like, let's do this and let's get bandanas from all over the world. And then mindful walk or anything, that's awesome. Like, I feel bad for people who will not be able to join in person, but
but I think so. We can't have them obviously for the walk to live stream that unless we get super creative. I don't know how, maybe somebody's walking during, or we can somehow post, different clips of volunteers along the path. I don't know. Like, I'm so open to figuring that out, but for sure the yoga and the meditation portion, we can live stream.
Yeah.
Right. So if people do want to tune in from other places, then I think so. Cool. Jackie.
Okay. We just checked Yorath house. You know why you couldn't hear me? Why? You and I were still on our phone call from before the meeting started.
Shit.
Anyway, Yorath House is booked October 1st.
Fuck off.
Yeah, and the 30th. So it's open the 8th, the 15th, the 22nd, the 29th, but that's it. And every Sunday before that is booked all through the summer as well. So
And in September, right?
looks like, yes, let me just make sure. September. The 24th is available.
Of September?
Yeah. And the 17th as well. That's it. Everything else is booked every
I think
Saturday.
given that we have to be outside doing yoga and meditation, I wouldn't push it till later in October.
Okay. So maybe the 24th of September. I'll call and book that today. It looks like it books up pretty quickly because that was only a
Okay.
couple weeks ago that it wasn't,
Yeah,
yeah.
when you call.
Yeah.
And I'll share that and that whole location with you guys in a second. Susan, how are you feeling about this?
I concur wholeheartedly. Just sign me up.
Okay.
Sign me
Beautiful.
up.
Awesome. Thank you. Jackie and I had that meeting, and at the end of it, we're like you, Louise, I'm like, oh, okay, a weight has been lifted. But I knew if we said, no, this isn't the time or the year and we don't have time, I'd still feel heavy. Like I feel like something needs to be done and something needs to happen. This just feels like, I don't know, such a beautifully aligned shift for that. So here's what we're thinking, and I'm going to show this to you guys. And some of you have maybe been there, some of you maybe not. I've rented it a couple of times. Let me see if I can find it on here. Sorry, I just.
That's in a park, right? That's that building in a park.
It's in Laurier Park. Yeah.
Yura's house. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's super beautiful. And
It's so cool.
What this will allow us to do will be to have this, let's just go like this, to have this indoor, what the heck? Give me a picture. To have this indoor venue. This actually is one big room. It just has this this post that's here and the fireplace separates it. But the indoor venue will essentially serve as the place then for registration, for drinks and snacks. And then we want to talk to you guys about doing a silent auction and even having some of that stuff inside to be able to raise more money. But then there's a huge front lawn because everything would be outside, and I'm not sure it's showing us on this right now, but I can find it after and I can send some pictures in that. There's a massive front lawn that then we would be able to do the yoga and the meditation outside. We wouldn't want to do it inside because honestly, the capacity is not even close to what I think we can attract for participants. Let me just see if I can find something else here.
Capacity is only 48, like 60, and that's not combined with the upstairs and the downstairs. They don't allow you to combine numbers.
Yeah, and they're really sticky about that. So yeah, maybe here. This is not a great picture, but this is a part of it. But then there's this massive front lawn that is like 5 times the size of kind of what you see that then overlooks the river, which is really beautiful. Right. So I think, again, I know we talked about, oh, what if the weather is not great? Then we're going to encourage people to be really hardy, bring an umbrella and sit on your mat, bring some rain clothes, and we'll have some fun with all of that.
And are we keeping the date?
So Jackie's going to try to get, what did you say, September 24th, Jack?
September 24th. Yes, that's the only date that's available in that time frame, the 17th or the 24th of September.
17th or the 24th. But your wedding, isn't your wedding on the 16th?
No, on the 9th.
Okay. Okay. So
I
this-
won't be able to make it, unfortunately, if it's the 24th, but I might drive all the way to the Hat, but it's 6-hour drive. I have an event on the 23rd. I'm coordinating,
Oh, do you? Okay.
but that's okay.
Okay, let's see what we got. We'll see what we can do. Jackie, you can call today, this afternoon to see, and then confirm with all of us. It is such a beautiful, beautiful venue. And yeah, see, Susan, always there walking your dog. Me too. Oh my God. I love that. Make it the Golden Girls house. Totally. Yeah, right? It's so beautiful. It's so beautiful. And so in terms of timing and schedule, what we're thinking is trying to still do it in that half day segment. So if we did say registration from 8 till 9 a.m. and then we could do, so the walk, there's a loop, there's a 3-kilometer walk right there. So 3 kilometers for even the slowest people, like maybe 45 minutes or something like that, just in case. But if we kind of say the walk is 9 till 10, so if people finish earlier, that's okay. There's kind of that place for them to gather. The yoga 10 till 11, it'll still probably be a 45-minute practice. And then the meditation, which will include kind of some of the talking and all of that about what we're doing, why we're doing it, what is Little Warriors, those types of things will be 11 till 12. And then we can begin to wrap up at 12, or I'll say wrap up at 12. But if we're doing a silent auction kind of a thing, people can peruse from 8 till 9 while they're waiting for the walk to start. And then we can even have like a 12 till 1. And then we kind of say 1 o'clock is the end of it's like the end of the event. And we kind of stop the auction and everything at that period of time. I would like to look at the logistics as well, if possible, or maybe we do a separate online auction too, if people aren't there. I'm trying to think of like all of the ways that we can fundraise. One of the things that I really heard from all of you, and I definitely agree with too, is that when we were thinking about getting sponsorships for walking or for running, a lot of us hate asking people in our lives, like, hey, do you want to, give me $50 to do this thing? Even though people who really love us would do that, right, to help us raise money. As opposed to that, like setting an actual registration fee for people to come. They're also, it's not just a walk now, like they're getting a really kick-ass yoga experience, a cool meditation. It's the whole kind of thing. Whatever we decide the value of that is going to be, because now we're limited to in-person numbers, right? Ish. Like if we say we're going to fit 200 people on that lawn, then that's all that we can have. Right. So if we think that that's going to be, I don't know, I'll just use $100 for easy numbers. Then we can also do like an online one as well. If that's like $50 and then they pay to get that code to be able to participate online. We just have to do a couple of, crunching of numbers to get the rental rate on the venue and a few of our other logistics underway. And if we figure out, if let's say we're charging somebody $100 that we need, for number's sake, we need $50 per person to cover our costs, then what we can do is when we make a lump payment, we talk to them at Little Warriors, we make a lump payment, we collect everything through Eventbrite, we make a lump donation for everything to Little Warriors. And then we give them a list of everybody who's signed up. They can issue tax receipts. So if we say that out of your $100, $50 of that is what we need, right, to cover the cost, then they're going to get a tax receipt for $50, right? And then Little Warriors will issue that too, which I think will be super helpful, right, for people to be able to sign up. Make sense? Yeah. So then it's just a matter of us figuring out, and I'm not sure if I'm open to any of your suggestions right now, but I think before we can set like a firm cost on what that's going to be, I need between Jackie and myself, just to confirm like what our costs are going to be for that day. I know we talked so much previously about t-shirts and then bandanas and all of those other kinds of things, and tattoos. At the end of the day, I don't want to be stuck with like a whole bunch of extra product. for that. So I'm open to any suggestions on, do we just tell people to wear the same color, right? Or just something to create a sense of community and cohesiveness. So I'm open to all of those suggestions. And then we started to make a list around, you know, some different responsibilities that people might want to take on just to get this up and rolling.
If you get anything printed without a date, so it's not annual, but we can use the same product over and over until it is used up. Little
Yeah.
Warriors, like the tattoo won't have a date on it, so we can just carry through. And those seem to be pretty reasonably priced, I think.
Yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah, Tanya, because I know you looked into that.
Or if you, so now, because before we didn't know how many people we will have, right? So
Right.
now we have a cap. So then we just, all we have to do is just to figure out how many people and get the quotes for that many items. And that's it. I do believe it's going to be sold out. So then
Yeah.
it's just a matter if we will be able, because, you know, the smaller orders, they higher the price, but I feel it's really nice when it's good to say, hey, come in the same color. And for the next year, when we want to make it, you know, bigger or brighter, it's nice to have the same. So if you know, once you know how many people we can have there, we can just compare the quotes and then see if that will, you know, will make sense with the $100 fee or what's not. And that's it.
Yeah,
Is there- Sorry,
that's
is there a
good.
color that we selected as our like orange or red or?
well, we had said orange. I'm having some interesting thoughts about this because Jackie and I had quite an in-depth meeting with Cody's ex-girlfriend, Alita, still really, really good friend. And there's some huge sensitivity there around, because remember, and maybe this is also meant to be, we were going to do it the day after Truth and Reconciliation. And Alita's like, you know, that's great. And even though we're not totally tying into it, it's still a little bit kind of close, that the bottom line is that we are white people who are promoting something that is sitting in the field of Indigenous relations, right? Which could really either be celebrated or it could be very fiercely frowned upon. And so that's like, when it comes to orange, that's where I'm almost thinking like, let's pick something else. Right? Let's pick something else.
What about a face paint color? Like, I don't know.
Cody's favorite color was blue, so.
We could do blue. Yeah. But I think, is there something that maybe, what could this represent? I don't know. And I'm just throwing this out there as some different things, right? Like if this is a representation of connection, right? And we choose blue because the ocean connects everything on the planet, right? And whether it's one drop or it's the whole thing, like I think it would be important to bring meaning to whatever it is that we choose, right? Or
Yeah.
green is the heart chakra color and we're opening the heart. I don't know.
Or we use one of your branded colors because it's under your umbrella.
Yeah, but that's okay.
No, I know, but then it's, you know, then it's like it has the same theme. So
Jason.
That's true. We are tying it into, and I know that we've all talked about that too, right? Like, so this year it's going to be kind of the story of Cody behind it, but next year it might not be. Right. So we've kind of shifted it away from like, yes, this year it's the war horse. Like before it was the war horse, like run for bravery.
Mhm.
We decided let's still do war horse and we're going to tell the story of where war horse came from. But it's going to be the mindfulness triathlon now.
Yeah, I'm
Right.
just looking at your website. You have like very like beige and pastel colors. So, but maybe you can play around it because this is something that I know what you're saying, that you don't need this, but this is under your umbrella, under your business. This is for recognition for next time to be able for people to remember, oh, that's what it is. And then if you want, you know, if this time is a run for bravery, then we can have those tattoos or that emblems somewhere printed. So it's black on your colors. And then next year, if you have a different, you know, if you support something different, then you just use that logo, but you keep the style the same.
Yeah. Yeah. I like that idea. If we continue to do the mindfulness triathlon is what stays consistent,
Yes.
right? Because I think that's what's going to help to pull again our members together, but people on the fringe. And then it's
Mhm,
like, what are the proceeds going towards?
mhm,
So
mhm.
yeah, this year it goes towards Little Warriors, but next year it might go towards something else.
I
Right?
know there's a program out here called Little Warriors as well, and I'm not sure if it's
Oh, interesting.
associated, but it's with the Indigenous boys here that are
Yeah.
basically on their own, and adult men step up and teach them things. So yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, that's very interesting. Okay, yeah, I like that then, Tanya. Maybe we can choose a color from
I'm scrolling your website.
branding swatch right now. Yeah.
So
Which I-
Mandy, I think we also, if we're going to be ordering product
Yeah,
of any sorts, like tattoos are really expensive, and I know this from another event that I was helping to do.
Yeah.
But I think we stay away from the war horse stuff. If we
Yeah.
are gonna have extra stuff, and we just come up with maybe make up a new, you're so good at that kind of stuff. Maybe we just
Yeah.
make up a new thing for a triathlon, like
you know what actually would be awesome, you guys? If we did like, I liked the bandana idea because then it's like a one size fits all. We don't have t-shirts in all these different sizes, but more if we came up with like, what is a mantra or what is a tagline, right?
Yes.
And then
Mhm.
that we can use if we have leftover for next year, or
Mhm.
if we decide to give it out, like it's some other event that we host, that we can do that. Like,
Yeah. And that you can have bulk order.
you know, like the thing that, and I'm not saying we have to do this, like it might be cool to do something that is a little bit different, but years ago I did the tank tops that say silence is luxurious. I don't know if any of you have one of those in here, but I'm telling you, those went like hotcakes. And I still get people who ask me 10 years later, are you still making the silence is luxurious? And John and I had trademarked that. And like, it was a whole thing for a long time. Right. But I think with respect to this organization, silence is not luxurious. So it's not necessarily the right
Mhm, mhm.
messaging around that. But I think we can create a different,
I think you just have to come up with a tagline for your how do you call it? Mindful triathlon? What was it?
mindfulness triathlon.
Yes, mindfulness triathlon. This
Yeah.
is already cool. So just a tagline.
Yeah. Any ideas?
No, so not at the moment.
Yeah.
I like that it's Mandy Trap and then Mindfulness Triathlon. They're both MT. I think that's really cool.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, I think a really cool mantra that can be one that we just like, we use so often through the whole entire experience.
Mhm,
People.
mhm.
I am.
I am. Yeah, I am is a good one. I am is a good
Or
one.
something even better.
Or something even better. Yeah, but it has to relate to what we're doing. Like, what is our why for doing this? Our why is to create connection, right? And I'm just going to even write down some of the words. Our why is to create connection, right? I just wrote down connect. It's for connection. It's for support. It's for purpose.
It's also for awareness.
It is.
Well,
for
I guess this year is for awareness, but if we decide not to do Little Warriors next year and a different one, like,
So if it's a triathlon, there should be like, not should be, but what I see is like it's like 3 words, you know, it doesn't have to be a phrase, but it's a triathlon. So it's like chin, chin, chin. So it's like connection, awareness, purpose, or blah, 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 blah. I don't know.
I see a triangle because it's a triathlon.
I am a warrior.
Whoa, I like
Like the triathlon, right? Tri is
only
3.
somebody didn't steal spiritual gangster. Mindful warrior. Mindfulness warrior.
Right.
Yeah, I like the visual of the triangle, Jack.
Yeah.
Because it kind of is like a body, mind, spirit, right? Like the body is the walk. The mind is, it really is the yoga. It's like all about like getting
Mhm.
out of your head and back into flow. And then the spirit is the meditation piece. Or unless we somehow flip that, it's like body, physical. So if it's like body, mind, spirit. So like body is the walk. The mind is the meditation. And then the spirit is the yoga that then during the practice leans into. I always love like the long rows of people, like hands on each other's backs and like kind of going through some of the postures, right? And because what does yoga really mean? I mean, it's union. It's not, it's teaching you how to be in the world, but to be in connection, and that we can't do it alone. Right? Huh.
Don't worry, she'll be on Canva later doing this.
Creating all of that. And like, I just need to see it. What's coming up for any of you guys with that?
Yeah, you could somehow have the word.
I love the triangle idea. I
Yeah.
love Tanya's idea of 3 words. I loved your idea of using green. I went to your website, and are you wearing a green dress? It's hard to know if it's green or. a
It's
dark
on one
color.
picture, it's dark
Are you
green.
in my old
yes.
website or my new website?
No, you
No.
have this picture on
You're with your
shop,
dog on your couch.
no, that one is black.
Yeah, that one is black.
Okay. It looks
Well,
like
I know-
dark green on mine.
I
That's
do
fine.
have
But
some-
then one, you have plants in several pictures, which is all the green.
Yeah, I'm going to show you guys my brand colors right now. Here. You're right, Jackie. I'm going to Canva, my favorite place in the world.
Yeah.
See, these are
Mhm.
all brand colors. So I do have green.
Considering that green is the heart chakra
I
color.
know, and I love that.
Hmm.
Well, and oh my gosh, I just saw the triangle with a heart inside of it.
I like it.
Because it's what do I always say? Like that's the place where everything comes together, right? The physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual all merge together into the heart.
Yep.
So if we do mind, body, spirit as the triangle, and these are like the 3 aspects of the triathlon, then we can choose a word, I think, for each one. Like, I think for the spirit, if we use that as the yoga, then maybe that one is connect, like that's the connect or connection, right?
Mhm.
And then the body, that to me feels like purpose. It's like, what am I doing? Like, am I doing this on purpose?
For me, purpose is for spirit,
Mm.
but that's just me.
Yeah. Yeah, yes, from just for me, yes, purpose is for spirit, but that's more of like a soul purpose, like a unique
Mhm.
individual experience. I'm just
Mhm.
trying to match it with the
Mhm,
different
mhm.
stages of the triathlon.
Okay, yeah, I
You know what I'm
okay.
saying?
Okay, yes, yeah, like it's a purpose. I'm gonna move. Okay.
So if I'm just seeing this in my head, because that's how I see everything, as like just like a one sheeter of, here's the different 3 phases of the triathlon, is that, we move the body, right? This is the physical. And there's a word for that. And then we silence the mind, or we quiet the mind down, and then we activate the spirit. Like, who are you in connection to others?
And
Right? So maybe the body isn't, yeah, maybe it is purpose. Maybe it's intention more than purpose. It's like, what is my intention?
I just wrote intention in the chat.
Did you? Oh, I did. I just saw that. Yeah, maybe the body is intention, because we're all going to start the whole entire event together with what is your intention for being here, and walking. We can use purpose, like walking with purpose. Like I'm doing this on purpose, like for something. Oh, I like intention. Okay. So and it's funny because it's a different order than what I would normally do, but I'm just seeing right now that we do the walk, run, and then the meditation, and then the yoga. Because if the overarching thing is about connection and feeling that, I don't want people to leave like inside of themselves with the meditation. I want them to leave feeling like totally entangled with everybody else, you know? So if we start with the body is intention, the mind, what do you think? What would be that word?
Purpose.
Mindfulness.
Yeah, I'm trying to think of it like almost from an action, right? Because we're using intention is an action, connection is an action.
Thoughts or
What are we doing with the mind, right? It's like, if I was building, like, for example, if I'm building out a practice to take somebody through, I would be like, okay, I see like, okay, we have like the movement and it's intention, and then the mind, it's like in stillness, and then the spirit, it's like explore, you know, whatever that is, right? But the mind, we are quieting the mind. Focus.
That was just the words in my head. Stop it.
sounds
Right?
good.
I think it's focus.
Yeah.
So it's gonna be intention, focus, and then
Focus.
focus. Yeah, that's great, Mark. Just so you know.
Focus.
Yes, focus. That's very important.
Intention, focus.
And then it has to be like action. Or
Or it could be like intent.
intention, focus, purpose.
Yeah.
Focus,
Intention,
purpose.
focus, connect. No, the last one's connection, I think.
Oh, that one is connection. Intention,
Yeah.
focus. Okay, yeah. Then it also, yeah, it flows nicely. Intention, focus, connection. And it makes sense logically too.
Yeah. Does it sound weird to go intend, focus, connect? Or does it feel better to say intention, focus, connection?
Kind of like a long word, short word, long word.
Yeah, I know. Kristen, you and I are like seeing everything the same. I'm
Yeah,
like,
pattern.
not exactly the same. That feels wrong. Okay, well, let's sit with that, because I think that those words represent the essence of the experience that we want to convey. And if we feel like we ground into it more, it's like, yeah, that's exactly what it is. Or if anybody wants to make any minor adjustments to that, then we can. But I think what I'm loving is wait till I design some logos. Because I love the triangle. And I'm seeing right now, if we're wearing bandanas around our neck, which is the triangle going down, we can design it so that it looks that way. Right? On our
It's
necks.
pointing to the heart
What?
if it's upside down.
Yes, it is. And it's like funneling in this direction, right? All of the energy is coming in this direction into the heart. And I like green.
They'd be easy to mail for those that are virtual joining
Yeah,
us
if people
too.
want to order them online, they can.
Mhm.
Yeah, we can have some available for sure. Okay. So Jack, as an action item for you, when you call the city today, let them know what it is that we want to do, but then also say, you know, we're going to be gathering out on the front lawn. Like, what is their capacity for that?
As long as we only have, like, I'm just reading into the whole thing. We just can't have more than 60 people It says maximum capacity for events at the venue is 60 people. That's max. But if we're using the outside, then I'll have to chat with them about that.
Yes.
Maybe
Yeah,
have
so
an early
Have
bird.
more than that inside, but maybe if we're outside, I don't know how that works.
If you just tell them we're using the inside for registration and stuff, then ask. Now, also, I'm just gonna throw it out there, just in case they get really sticky about that. Look at the Alfred H. Savage Center. Because I know that there's a bigger capacity at that one, and it's also outside and it's beautiful, and I've hosted events there as well. It's right across from the White Mud Equine Center.
Oh, it
If
is
you've
really
ever
nice.
seen that building, it's there, right next to this, there's big set of stairs that go up there.
Okay, so I do know that Yorath House is pretty sticky and they do, it already says that they will have somebody on site.
They always do.
Yeah,
The city, which they would likely also do at Alfred Savage, 'cause it's the city of Edmonton, right?
Fred Savage, I was gonna say.
The Wonder Years.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, you're
Oh my
funny.
gosh.
Okay, so Jackie's gonna help us to nail down the venue, hopefully in the next day or two. And then we'll be able to have an idea on pricing and what we're gonna charge in person and online and capacity for that. We need somebody to, or not just somebody, maybe a couple of people to start to drum up some silent auction items. Now, here's one thing, and I know many of you have done other event fundraisers and things like that, but there's silent auctions that garner a lot more money than others, right? And I think that we need to set some serious parameters around, like, what are we going to be accepting? Are we going with a theme? I usually find that either physical products or bigger items do better than somebody like, no offense to any one of us in here that have like lovely one-on-one sessions for sale, but that usually doesn't fetch a ton. But something that's a physical product, and are we going to have a minimum, right? Like in terms of, you know, it has to have a value of over $100 or something like that, or a value of, because you go to these places and it's like, okay, minimum dollar or minimum bid is $5 and it's worth like $25. No, like, let's try to hit it. I did a really good fundraiser that I had organized, I don't know, a little while back for Wellspring. It's a new cancer support center. And our silent auction, we did a weekend retreat in Banff. Our silent auction made $25,000, which there was 80 women there. $25,000. I was like, holy shit. There was no online bidding. There was nothing. And so I put some pretty tight parameters around that. But to get that out of 80 women who everybody had already spent $500 to be there for the weekend was really awesome.
Can you share those parameters? If that model worked, we can do the same. Do you remember?
Yes, please. So one of the parameters is that in terms of goods, I had a minimum of $100 value. A second one that I really strongly recommended is that if it is something service-based, is to donate something that they would not normally, thanks Becky, that they wouldn't normally have on their list of services. So it had to be a unique experience or a unique package. That makes sense? People can't just go and buy it like off the rack, basically. And what else did I don't remember, but if I remember, I'll get it back to you. So let's look for some things that are a bit more unique, higher value. And I think part of it too was also like really relevant. I know that this sounds kind of shitty, but like relevant to what's on trend, right? Yeah. Like, what are people valuing more right now versus somebody's like, oh, I'm cleaning out my stock from my store that I own from 5 years ago, and I'm going to donate this stuff is worth $500, but nobody wants it, right?
And then do we know how, like, do we need 30 items, like the space, because it would be a silent auction will be inside. So we also have to understand the spacing, because you can only put that many per table. So maybe Jackie, that's something you want to ask when you will be talking to them.
So
Mhm.
Mandy, I'll just tell you right now, the Alfred Savage is 110 is their capacity
Yeah,
for seated.
Yeah.
So it is quite a bit bigger than Yorath House in that regard. We could use the lawn outside and there is walking trails around there.
mhm.
So
Yeah.
I don't know, I can't tell their availability. I have to call. Yorath House had a schedule online that you can look at, but these guys don't. So I'll have to call and find out.
Perfect.
If October 1st is available, do we still want that day?
I'm gonna say no. I want to kick it off of the Truth and Reconciliation weekend.
So September 17th or 24th?
Mhm.
Okay. Okay,
What do you guys think about that?
Mhm.
Mhm. Okay. Oh my God, so many good ideas. Okay, so if I put out, I'll go into Facebook, our group. I'll put some of these things that we came up with, but like just very specifically, like, here's what we're doing, here's what we're calling it. Here's the color. Are we good with green? I like the idea of green around the heart chakra.
Mhm.
Yeah. Okay. The bandanas that we're doing. Here's the words that we came up with. I'll quickly design that little triangle with the little heart that's inside of it. And
I should know today whether we have that space or
Okay.
not. As soon
okay,
as we're done, I'll call.
okay. And then I'll put up like a list of kind of responsibilities and see who wants to take on what. Can anybody who's on here right now, can you guys think of anything that you want to pitch in and do? And like, I know Luisha, you're not in the town, so we could also just use a really good cheerleader.
I'll try to get a resort here in Tofino to donate to our
Oh,
hunt silent auction. Wouldn't that be awesome? They have to find their way here, but
absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll work on
Yeah.
that.
I think that would be incredible.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
I think we can post in our group a call out to all ambassadors to actually really like, go deep and brainstorm the ideas whom we can approach to get items for the silent auction.
Mhm.
So it's not like last minute or something, that's actually, like selected, mindful
I agree.
with parameters.
Yeah.
Will that be also available online?
How would you manage?
Yeah.
it?
So I think that's what we have to
You put a bid on
figure
bid.
out. Like, I don't,
Yeah.
and it doesn't mean it's not doable. I have never had the experience organizing one where if people are going in and writing their names down, I don't know then how people can do that online to stay. Do you know what I mean? To stay on
Mhm.
top of putting their bid in? Or do we?
I
just create-
honestly, I think it's too confusing that way.
Mhm.
You either have to do it online or you have to do it in person.
Mhm.
Online might be better coverage.
But what we
Yeah.
could do, sorry, as I'm eating my watermelon. We could do a few, like, if we have kind of a few bigger prizes that we think are super cool, we could just put those ones online and not in person.
Like maybe the Tofino, if that happens, like those ones that'll
Yeah.
be,
Yes,
yeah.
we just lost Alicia, but yeah. Yeah, I'm super open. Let's just keep in mind that we want to raise as much money as we can.
And maybe the Trap family would throw in a 2-day or something at their,
Okay, fine. Yeah, of course.
that's be another good one.
Mhm.
Speaking of which, Shannon is not online today, but
I don't know,
Um,
she's texting me. She's working at the farm, so I'm not gonna get mad at her.
because she was also gonna do the stuff for June, so we need to maybe have a chat with her about that.
Beautiful. Okay, friends, I think this is enough info for today. Does anybody have anything to add before we sign off? No?
No,
How-
but I think, but maybe but for July 1,
Yeah.
like we have to have like clear agenda and have responsibilities, because then it's August and like I'm not even here. So I'm like, oh my God, like let me do the work. So it's done. And then in September, kids back to school. So it's quite busy time. So then, we can actually organize everything and like not
Yeah.
drop a ball or get very stressed.
Yeah, so just as a quick heads up around that, we're gonna put all of this together on Eventbrite. Okay, just so that it's like one easy place for people to go. I did not want it attached to my business because for tax purposes, like it just really sucks and I don't want to pay income tax on any of the registration fees and that coming in. So we will start putting this together next week when I'm back, early next week. And we can even start accepting registrations even before we have our next formal
Yeah.
meeting, with some of those other pieces, right? So
Mhm.
let me just pick a date right now to confirm to all of you that we will have this out. Okay, how about we put this out, Jackie and Pam, on June 22nd. Yeah, that's great. That'll be right after solstice.
You can announce it on solstice.
I will announce it at solstice, but
Hmm.
In person, and then
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
put it online after that. Mhm.
Yep.
Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I'm excited. This is going to be fun. And we'll have music and it'll be fun.
It feels a lot less daunting than it did before.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
I
Mhm.
totally agree. This feels like calmer, or just
Mhm.
maybe it's just more in alignment, or I don't know what the word is, but it feels better.
All of those things. Yeah, I
And
think so
we
too.
still want to honor Cody, but I think Mandy and I talked about that as well, that we do more of that maybe on the Facebook page, where people can come and read about it and everything else. Like we will touch on it during this event as well, but I just feel like the honoring of him and stuff, this is not the time or place maybe for that 100%. Right? Like a little bit, we'll talk about it, but the main stuff will be on the Facebook page if people want to go there and read all about it and see it. And
Sounds good. Sounds good. Okay, well now we just get to have fun. Create this big, beautiful event. And a party.
And an after party.
And an after party. Absolutely an after party. I'm already looking forward to that. Okay, friends, thank you. Thank you. I'm going to go to Facebook right now before I forget.
no,
Or-
Mandy, you're gonna hang online while everyone else hangs up because
Oh,
we
okay.
have a few more things to talk about.
Okay, fine. Okay, bye, you guys. I'll stop the recording. Sending you all love.
Bye.
Bye.